Tonight, we're in your neighborhood from Corpus Christi all the way to Refugio. We're sharing the stories that matter to you. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. We begin tonight in Portland, where a mom and daughter are back together after being separate for nearly 5 years. The emotional reunion caught on camera. Portland PD tells us the girl, now 12 years old, was allegedly kidnapped by her father at 8 years old. At the time, the suspect, identified as Neftali Garcia, had custody of her because of the girl's mother was in the country on a visa. Chief Mark Corey tells us the girl was found in Mexico this weekend. She was taken to Houston, where she was reunited with her mom.
She's here, she's safe, she's healthy, she's with mom, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have to work out their, issues. You're talking about a child who's been gone for a while.
Portland PD tells us the suspect, a dual citizen, is now in custody. In San Antonio, a father is desperate to find his 16-year-old daughter. This is Isabela Ramirez. She was last seen on January 10th. Mike Jimenez spoke with Isabela's dad and where the investigation stands right now.
No father wants to go through this. We have my wife at home, my kids. We can't even bring them to this.
Trinidad Ramirez, father of 16-year-old Isabela Ramirez, says emotions are running high as they begin a second week searching for Isabela.
We are hitting locations. We're getting more information.
On Saturday, January 10th, Isabela was seen on video walking away from her home on Mill Street Bend near 281. That was the last time anyone has seen Isabela. Desperate for answers, the Ramirez family teamed up with the nonprofit Search and Support San Antonio. Sunday, the group intensified their search.
We are out today knocking on doors, handing flyers, just to see if there's any information we can gather that points us in the direction of where we might be able to find Izzy.
Lori Whitmire with Search and Support SA says they are targeting the homes of friends of Isabela. And one of those friends told Whitmire he could contact Isabela and ask her to call them. About an hour later, a girl Whitmire believes to be Isabela called. Although Whitmire says she spoke with the teen, Isabela's dad, who is also working with multiple law enforcement agencies, says he still believes his daughter is a victim of human trafficking.
There's a lot of leading to that, and we're trying to figure out who the individuals are.
Search and Support says Isabela remains a missing person, and they want to remind everyone that harboring a missing juvenile is a crime.
Is considered to be a Class A misdemeanor, which is punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $4,000. And we don't want to do that. We want just to bring her home and to make sure that she's safe and that she's okay.
Isabela's dad says the call still leaves a lot of unanswered questions, and he is not giving up the search for his daughter.
God, please help us, help us find our daughter. We will work through it. If there's problems, let's get therapy, let's get the priest, let's get whoever we need to help us to heal.
Well, police are asking for help from anyone who may know where Isabela is. It's a case I have been following closely here at the Nueces County Courthouse. Both the prosecution and the defense have rested and closed the case in the trial for the former Uvalde school resource officer Adrian Gonzalez. The jury is set to hear closing arguments from both sides tomorrow. He is being charged with 29 counts of child endangerment and abandonment in connection to the Robb Elementary School shooting. The trial started off heated this morning with the continuation from Friday's cross-examination of a Texas Ranger, Nick Hill, which constructed a timeline of events using surveillance video, officer radio transmission, and evidence markers. The jury also heard from 2 more witnesses before both sides rested their case. I'll be sure to keep you updated online and on the air. Robstown, we hear you and we see you. The community there has faced a lot of tragedy recently. We told you about Randy Rubio and his 4-year-old daughter, Eden, and 12-year-old stepson, Connor, who died last Thursday in a crash at County Road 77 and 36. Then, 2 days later, Robert Barrera, Roxana Ibarra, and her husband Marcus Ibarra were killed in a multi-vehicle crash near Victoria. These tragedies follow the death of 14-year-old Sean Sanchez, the city's first murder in 2 years. Stephanie Molina spoke with a local pastor who shared this message to his community.
God never promised we wouldn't go through hard times. God promised that in the hard times He would be there. So I think faith is a key element in being able to survive things like this. Just knowing that we're not alone in times like this, I think it's important for us to keep persevering and going forward.
If you would like to help any of the victims' families, look for the story on our website, christv.com. The Odom Ed Roy School District will meet tonight to decide the fate of 2 athletic coaches. That meeting was supposed to happen last week to address an alleged December assault on a school bus, but it was pushed to 6:30 tonight. Officials say Coach Christian Torres and Arnold Maldonado were both present during the alleged assault. Now the school board plans to discuss the employment of both coaches. Neighborhood News reporter Adam Beam has been following the story since the very beginning. He'll be there and tell us what happens next. If you take Ocean Drive for your daily commute, you'll need to find a new route. That's because the city is closing parts of North Shoreline Boulevard to replace a decorative crosswalk that no longer meets state safety requirements. The southbound side closed this morning and reopens tomorrow morning at 8:30. Then the northbound side closes tomorrow until Wednesday morning. Well, we are expecting some colder temperatures this coming weekend. So to give us more details, Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber joins us.
Yeah, we have a lot of weather that's going to be happening this week. It's kind of a mess, but that's why we're here to break it down for you and let you know how we can get those plans going. First, let's talk about some rainfall. We've got a view out there that says, I want to give you rain, Coastal Bend. That's what the sky is saying, but I don't think we've really seen a whole lot of ground truth in that. Here's a current look at the radar. The past 4 hours, there has been some green on the radar, but a lot of it has missed us. We still have a window of opportunity here for rainfall, but we're counting on less and less by the moment here. So we will see some showers heading into the early part of your Wednesday, and we'll time out what to expect in your neighborhood ahead. But for now, we've got this view, just clouds out there. And you know what? Despite the clouds, we have seen a nice warm up today, making it to the 70s in a lot of neighborhoods. Right now, we're sitting at 70 at the airport, a southeast wind at 11 miles per hour, and many other warm neighborhoods here that are going to see a very gradual decrease in temperatures as we head through the evening hours. So you know what that means? A warm up underway. In fact, a pretty big warm up through the end of the week. Just before we see a big drop in temperatures, everyone has been talking about the possibility of very cold conditions, perhaps frozen conditions this weekend. There's a lot to clear up. I'll have a complete rundown for you coming up in your full forecast in just a few.
Stephanie, thank you. 8 years after Hurricane Harvey destroyed the Refugio County Courthouse, restoration is now underway. Earlier today, county leaders and community members gathered for a groundbreaking ceremony marking the start of a multi-phase restoration of the historic building. Phase 1 of the project will focus on repairs to the exterior of the building and the district courtroom now, and it should take between 18 to 24 months to complete, according to the Refugio County Judge Gigi Pointer.
I think that this is a great project that'll really reflect the spirit of the community that it serves, and so I couldn't be more excited for it to get started.
The full restoration is expected to cost an estimated $26 million. Phase 1, with an approximate investment of $10 million, is being funded primarily through grant money. Well, tonight, President Trump heads to Switzerland for the World Economic Forum as tensions escalate with allies over his pursuit of Greenland. 1 year into his second term, the president is touting accomplishments while threatening tariffs against Denmark unless it negotiates the sale of Greenland to the U.S. Greenland is a Danish territory rich in rare earth minerals that Trump says is key to national security. European leaders at Davos are pushing back.
Thankful for the support from all our allies, all the countries of the European Union, for stating and constantly saying we need to respect the world order. International law is not a game.
President Trump insists if the U.S. does not control Greenland, Russia or China will take it over. The island, the Russian foreign minister said there is no evidence to support Trump's claims.
The Trump administration is hitting pause on student loan wage garnishment. I'm Jada Jenkins breaking down what this means for you.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Welcome back. The student loan saga continues. Let's take you back. In December 2025, the Trump administration announced plans to garnish paychecks for borrowers who hadn't paid their student loans in more than 270 days. Just 1 month later, that plan was put on hold. For millions of Americans, student loans can feel like a constant tug and pull. Payments, pauses, and the fear of what comes next, all while student loan debt is in the country's total about $1.6 trillion. So what's the latest news and how does it impact you? Our Jada Jenkins takes it from there.
I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jada Jenkins, in studio. The Trump administration announced it will delay its plans to garnish wages from student loan borrowers in default. Here's what that means for you. Let's face it, student loans are stressful. That's why I met with Joseph Ruiz, Director of Financial Aid Services at Del Mar College, to help break down what this latest pause really means. So what does this pause mean for borrowers right now? Before this delay, borrowers could have faced forced collections, money taken directly from their paychecks or tax refunds.
They were going to start taking 10, in some cases up to 15% of their biweekly or monthly paycheck.
In some cases, that money would have been pulled automatically.
They're going to just automatically withdraw that and apply it toward their past due balance of the student loans.
For many, the idea of losing part of their paycheck is already stressful.
I mean, nobody wants money taken out of their paycheck, especially forcibly.
But even with this pause, experts want you to know.
I would tell students not to relax. It's so important to get ahead of the game and start making arrangements now.
Ruiz says there are options if you can't afford these payments right now, including income-based repayment plans, temporary forbearance or deferment, and reaching out to loan servicers to help. Experts say this move by the Trump administration is giving borrowers a temporary pause, but not a pass. The advice is to use this time to understand your options before collections eventually resume. In studio, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jada Jenkins, Chris 6 News.
It protects property, draws in visitors, and now the Michael J. Ellis seawall is in need of some repairs. I'm Drew Bishop on Padre Island, and I'll tell you how city leaders secured $15 million for this project.
Happy Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed today's forecast because it panned out pretty nicely. Would have liked a little more rain. Unfortunately, didn't see any at the airport, and very few neighborhoods actually saw the rainfall. But boy, what a difference the morning can make when we're not near freezing. Woke up to a low temperature 55 degrees, rebounded nicely in the afternoon to 72, the high temperature here in Corpus Christi. A lot of other neighborhoods in that 70-degree neighborhood. But we are going to get warmer as we head through the end of the week, even with the possibility of a couple of showers in the forecast for tomorrow. It's not looking like as much, but there's a lot going on in the forecast, so we'll take a little bit of calm, right? Here's where temperatures are right now across the coastal bend. We're hanging on to those upper 60s for inland neighborhoods, and then in our more central zones, not coastal, not inland, that's where we've got those 70s hanging on. A little cooler along the coast, or the water has kept you cooler for most of today. But heading through tonight, yep, as we head for that dog walk this evening, it is going to be a pretty mild night. Temperatures are slowly wiggling their way down through those 60s. So our dog walking forecast start today. Coco gonna enjoy the walk with some pretty calm conditions. Winds coming down from about 10 miles per hour and hanging out with temperatures remaining in those middle to upper 60s here in Corpus Christi. Again, not going to see a huge drop in the temperatures because we've got quite a bit of cloud coverage that we're expecting to hang in. That acts like a blanket and keeps us pretty steady during the time frame until those start to break up. Speaking of time frame, we have a lot going on, so let's break it down. The weather drama is such that tomorrow we're hoping that with the clouds we can get a few scattered showers in the mix. At this point, I think those scattered showers are going to lend very little ground truth in terms of rain. Things are starting to look drier for us heading into tomorrow, where some of this rain may be either a little bit too far to the south or just off our coast. Keep your fingers crossed. There's still a chance of rain in the forecast for tomorrow. But for Thursday and Friday, sunny, warm, beautiful. Are we still in January? That's the kind of weather that we're expecting. And by now you've probably heard that comes with a very big drop. The higher you rise, the harder you fall, right? Temperatures are going to be plummeting on Saturday. Will be breezy after a cold front, and there's going to be some rain in the forecast. at least cold rain for now. Precipitation could trend otherwise because it's all going to depend on the timing and how this cold front comes together. It's a pretty complicated forecast, so we're going to keep our eye on it and keep you posted with any developments, but we're still thinking cold rain at this point. In fact, think of it this way. It's been hard to get rain to stay in the forecast. In fact, today we were expecting a little bit more than what actually panned out, and heading into the overnight, this forecast looks a little drier than what we were showing you before. Again, still expecting some rain. I know there's a lack of green on this. Most of that happens off the coast. I still think there will be a shower here or there scattered across the coastal bend before those clouds start to break up tomorrow evening, and we get sunshine for Thursday and Friday. But there's a lot that goes into this forecast. I can guarantee you it is going to be cold. That's the one thing we are not uncertain about. It is going to be cold as we head on into Sunday morning. So Saturday morning, that cold front arrives and our temperatures are going to fall throughout the day. Might be a little rebound in the afternoon, but we're talking pretty cold here. Hard freeze is expected heading into Sunday morning. Got to protect the 4 Ps. If you didn't last week, you definitely need to now. At this point, it looks like cold rain is possible, but the frozen stuff is going to be pretty tough to come by. We'll keep an eye on it, but it's not looking very confident at this point. We'll keep you posted if anything changes. But rain chances at least look decent for now. We'll continue to keep an eye on it because look at these temperatures. They are forecast to be very cold as we head on into the weekend, so we've got to keep an eye out.
Decades of wear and tear, soon to be repaired. But where's the money coming from? I'm Drew Bishop, your neighborhood news reporter on Padre Island. The Michael J. Ellis Seawall project's revitalization is on the horizon, and here's how it came together.
What's the future of this seawall? How do we maximize this amenity for our...
That's the question city leaders took a step towards answering after a meeting at Gulfstream Condos on Saturday.
They were able to locate $11 million to fund the seawall project, and so we're all excited about that.
$4.4 million was already designated for the project, and with $11 million added to the pot from different sources, about $15.5 million will be invested into the Michael J. Ellis Seawall, a project, neighbors tell me, is important for the island's future.
You don't have to be a rocket scientist. I mean, it's obvious that it needs to be done. And if this wall deteriorates, then it puts all these buildings and businesses and homes, whatever, at risk.
Others asked, why not put that $15 million towards projects like the city's water crisis?
This is a project under the Padre Island TERS. So that funding can't simply just go to anything. It really has to be a project that is going to work on a major infrastructure investment in the TERS boundary.
Paxton tells me the $3 million from the Packery Channel was allocated because of how close it is to the seawall.
The seawall and Packery Channel are connected in that relationship. So maintaining Packery, maintaining the seawall, they have this relationship.
Now with the funding secured, design plans are 90% complete, with plans to restore the seawall along with added benches, lighting, and other upgrades.
Oh, anything like that is a good thing, of course, because it enhances your experience.
Paxton says construction on the project should begin in fall of 2026. On Padre Island, I'm your neighborhood news reporter Drew Bishop, Chris 6 News.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm, battling for justice, winning for the community.
So you asked, so we went looking for answers. Today, we're responding directly to a viewer question for Michelle Hoffman, which she received about Sherrill Veterans Memorial Park and whether it will be ready in time for major events. Now, you might remember the U.S. Army Bell Huey helicopter was installed last September, but parts of the park remain gated off. So Michelle checked in directly with the city to get answers.
They're working on the ground and some ADA accessible walking ways for everybody to go out there and enjoy. So we're excited. That's coming to an end, and we'll have that fence down in February.
Well, keep in mind, this is just phase 1 of Sherrill Park's master plan. We'll be sharing the full vision for the park on our website so you can see what's coming next. A big check for a great cause. We'll tell you how this donation will help kids in need across the coastal bend. Welcome back. Driscoll Children's Hospital and Flint Hills Resources are once again partnering for the 34th annual Fiesta de los Niños. Today, Flint Hills donated $100,000 for the planned expansion of a new surgical center, which will help children across South Texas get surgeries close to home. Now, this year's chair of Fiesta, Morgan Bacon, hopes this donation reflects the strong community ties between Driscoll and Flint Hills.
Like they're in this community as well, right? And the volunteers that we have on our committee, they are people who work here, whose kids live here. They're born and raised here. You know, some of them have been here as children, right? And so this hospital is really, I just feel like, a very big part of Corpus Christi.
Fiesta de los Niños will be held on February 6th at the Hilliard Law Center. You can find more details on the event on our website, christv.com. Alrighty, so Steph.
I got big questions for the weekend, huh?
Yes, big questions.
A lot of plans happening. Folks trying to figure out what's going on.
Yes, exactly.
We're going to dive a little deeper into the uncertainties for this weekend's forecast because it's Tuesday, but I think that's where everyone's attention is right now. We have this gloomy view outside as we say goodnight to the sun. It's been hiding for a lot of today, and so while we're hoping for some rain, I feel less hopeful about rainfall going into Wednesday. Still expecting some showers here and there, but again, let's get to the part that everybody's really talking about, which is this weekend's forecast. And watch as we warm up to the upper 70s on Friday and then absolutely plummet. This cold front's timing, its strength, and a lot of other details have to come together. Right now, I feel good about forecasting cold rain on Saturday. We may have some of those showers also going on Sunday, which, as you see there, our mornings are going to be in the 20s. So stay tuned. Right now, we're going to call it rain, and we'll keep you updated if that changes. But until then,
everybody, stay warm, but stay with us. We'll make sure to keep you updated on that. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you here at 6 o'clock.
Bye.